Hey, welcome to the Shred Vault. Back again here in the Shred Vault with me, Julian V. Eriksson. It's going to be quite, very relaxed stream today. I'm doing a bit of a presentation of, presentation, that sounds very formal. I want to do a rundown of one of my productions called, a song called Anabolic Arpeggios. A song that I made, the original idea was to make a song that could be looped, in a reel. Like it would be like a 1 minute, and then you could, it could go on a loop like seamlessly. I didn't record it like that, like when I was finished with it. But yeah, that was the original idea, and make it. I don't really have a super structured plan of how this video and live stream will be, but I have like a couple of main points I think that I'd like to go through with you of how I was thinking when I made this song, and also a bit on my, I guess my sort of philosophy of recording in general, right? Because a lot of stuff, I think, in music production really comes down to what way of thinking and what philosophy you bring into it, right? And you'll see a couple of examples of this pretty clearly in this production. So how about we start with listening to the track? And make sure. Hey! Okay, that's the song, short and sweet. So one of the things that I've felt for a long time is really about the integrity of a take, right? The integrity of a guitar take or a vocal take or whatever. And I can really feel like if you do a lot of punching in it, it can really kill the sort of, the vibe of a track, right? So this was both a challenge, but also a sort of a principle, I guess, a test of principle. So I recorded 7 takes, it looks like, and the funny thing is, like, when you record the takes, I'm always so critical, of all the small details. It's like, oh, I missed the note there or there or there. But then, like, it went a day, and I was about to sync up the video and the audio, and I couldn't actually tell, it's probably this take. But then when I looked closer at it, it was a different take. So that goes to show sort of how, in the moment critic isn't maybe always the best person to trust in with making a bigger production sort of call, right? And I think like the guitar part of the track, I mean, since I'm mainly a guitarist sort of focused guy, right? It was really the sort of proving grounds for me. And another thing that I really wanted to start to experiment with in production is the notion of how can you make a guitar sound like being as, would you say it, like sonically massive, I guess, without having to layer it so much. Because like if you listen to like all the great sort of like the guitars that really have like performance as a part of their sound, right? Like Yngwie Malmsteen or Eddie Van Halen or a bunch of guys, right? And it's usually only one guitar. So what I wanted to really sort of capture with this this recording was that sense of it's one guitar, but how do we make it bigger, right? Without having to layer it a bunch of times. And so what I chose to do is that we have one guitar track here that sends its signal to two separate channels with quite different tones. So this is tone 1. And this is tone 2. Let's see if I can mono the other stuff. Okay, let's see here if I can bring up the effects and we can take a look at the signal chain. So going from the start, we have a tuner that doesn't really do anything in this track, but it's very handy when you record to have a tuner. Second here we have it's a replication of a rat pedal by TSE Audio. And then I'm using, this has really been my workhorse lately, the Neural Amp Modeler, which is a free amp modeler where a user can basically create captures, right, and upload them to a site called tone3000.com, and there's a lot of great stuff there, and I'm really impressed by the quality of it. So for this specific tone on the second stack, I'm using a model called a Metroplex. It's like very, very martially, very fizzy. And if we look in contrast to that one on the other one, which has quite a similar setup, I believe, but no rat. It's in the chain but not activated. I'm using here we have one called Full Rig 5150, and that's a capture by a guy called Pip Priss, I believe, and it's a really great capture as well of 5150. And that has a bit more of that sort of mid sort of bitey tone. Yeah. And both of these go out into, both of them have a delay on them, and they have a slight bit of compression on them as well, and an EQ as well to round off the edges. And like if you do a production where you have vocals, you could probably make these much tighter, really, because here we don't really have to fight for any room with the vocals, right? And it also goes out into a reverb channel. So yeah, that ends up with this tone. Yeah, and one other bit that is kind of fun here. This is actually a bit of programming that I added before I recorded it, so I could sort of play into it. It's this bit with the phaser here. Because I feel that whatever effect you have, or really whatever sound you're playing into, that really affects how you play. And that's actually a funny bit, because I've tried to sort of record a video or a stream like this before, where I took up my guitar, the same guitar that I recorded with, and plugged it into my interface that I have here, which is a Focusrite. And that has the input on that one, the line input, is like a fraction of a decibel higher than on the line 6, which I used to record this track on. So when I plugged it in up here, it was like a completely different sound. And you play it really differently. You play completely differently, I'd say. When you just get that little ounce extra. So what you hear really affects what you play, and what you play, of course, ends up on the recording. So yeah, and it's really simple automation. Really, this phaser goes on to the send, like, which is the raw input, right? And just starts from this bit. Yeah. So yeah, this was a short but sweet little stream. Thank you so much for checking in, and take care. All right, bye for now.